This one.
What's your pick on this game?
Oh, what's my pick?
Oh god, do I want to?
What's my pick?
Should I?
Go Knowles?
I can't talk about this.
It's your
Oh
mortal.
my
I can't
god.
talk about this.
Oh my
Wait,
god.
2 weeks in a row?
Holy back-to-back
What do you
same
mean?
team is
You don't
going to
know
be
what's
electric.
on
Yeah, you don't
Oh,
know
I
anything.
know.
Over
I
under.
know what's
All
up.
right, whatever. Mario loves to just like have like a slow, silent pause.
No,
while
I
he-
love that.
What's my pick? What do you think?
Mario's Batman.
Good evening, degenerates,
Welcome
and welcome
back.
back to another episode of DJ
Bang.
Hours. College football week 6 is here.
Boom, 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 boom.
Huge
Blah,
week
blah.
for the Mortals. We hit our fucking Mortal Lock parlay.
Hey!
3-0 in Mortals. We posted a video earlier this
Shout
week,
out
2 days
Ken.
ago. Yeah, Ken, Ajiri, bunch of
1902,
numbers at the end of it. We'll throw it up.
6102.
We already talked about it, but he won $450 because he was a subscriber and he commented
Come
on
on,
these
guys.
videos.
Just comment.
Congrats.
450
When we hit
bucks.
the mortal, we give out the
Andy
mortal parlay at the end of every episode. When it hits like it did last week, we are paying one of you who comments and is a subscriber and likes the videos $450 with a 3-leg parlay. If the 4 of us join, when Ryan starts hitting mortals, then it's $1,000.
Probably
we're gonna
never.
pay you.
I got you.
That's a shitload
not
of money to be subscribed to a channel with
Just
only
comment. You have to
1,000
comment.
subscribers.
Just
So-
comment.
To
Any
be
video, any
honest-
short.
To be honest, also, if you wanted to, you could make your own parlay as a 4-legger, but with a faded Ryan spot.
Oh,
Yeah, you
here
go
we
the
go.
other side and then
Yeah,
just.
Mike has to.
Mike's always. He's
I
always
was-
got
I'm
six
not-
shots.
I was
I'm not,
celebrating.
Mike,
I
we're
was
celebrating.
celebrating.
Mike's got to bring us down.
Mike has
I
to
was
Mike will
needle.
always bring us back down.
Mike has to needle, but yeah,
I'm
the
just trying
Mortals,
to make people
Mortals
more
were
money.
insane. Ryan is still relegated though, 0-5 on
I'm
the
still
year now.
insane.
So the parlay is just 3 legs, the same 3 people that hit last week. So definitely, if you're watching this right now, subscribe, like, comment.
3-legged dogs,
The
fast and
records
forward.
last week, actually a really, really fantastic week for us. Everyone above 50%.
That's I mean, what are you guys
Fantastic.
doing? You're welcome.
I think Ryan, huge week, 6 games above 50%.
I mean, come on.
I was also 6 games above 50%, 12 and 6, my best week by far.
That's
and then Mike
insane.
and Mario each 2 games above 50%. So
10 and 8, baby.
on the season, 3 of us 3 are all above 50% on the season picking games. Mario is getting closer now, 47%. So in college,
I was 3 games above 50%. So we might have to review.
review
the
Why
last
you
week.
change the
Last
numbers,
week.
y'all?
Yeah.
The stat correction.
Our stat-
our intern
our
Johnson.
intern
I'm
has
sorry.
you as 8 and 6. We can live stat
Oh,
check right now.
intern.
We'll get it. Don't worry. We'll
see
get
if
it.
it's
Intern
correct.
Johnson's on it. He's
Whatever
back.
it is, it'll be up there. So whatever it is, it'll be corrected. If he got the wrong stat, we're putting him in the basement for a week. But yeah, huge week.
No
Regardless,
food.
everyone was over 50%. We're on fire in college. College football is absolutely electric right now. And we have a couple big games to get to before we give out our picks for the week and our Mortal Lock parlay. So let's get in the first one. One that really hits home for me.
Your
Clemson
team.
at FSU. Clemson minus 14.5. Total is 46.5.
No Knowles.
So I want to start with this one saying,
yeah.
DJ, you're a pussy for breaking your finger.
Oh.
I wanted DJU to be playing in this game so f***ing bad.
That's so sad.
He broke his finger last week. Yeah, he's thrown
That's
pick
a
sixes.
serious injury.
Oh, okay. But yeah, regardless, he's not going to be playing. So Clemson, massive over 2 touchdown favorites, traveling into FSU, a team that's extremely struggling. The pick here is Clemson minus 14.5, and it's a hammer play. We can't mortal our own games, but the way we're moving right now and the way this Florida State's reeling, I mean, this is a hammer play. Brock Glenn is the starting quarterback
Yep.
for FSU. He started 2 games last year. This is a redshirt freshman starting his 3rd game. His stats in his 2 starts: 19 of 51 passing, 229 total yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 picks.
Yep.
Going against a Clemson defense in his first game of the season. Cade, 4th in the country in QBR, behind Horvath, Cam Ward, and Curtis Rourke. 984 passing yards, 12 touchdowns, 2 picks, 106 rushing yards, 4 touchdowns, 10th in Heisman odds. Clemson offense, including the Georgia game, 42 points per game,
Yeah.
including a 3-point game against Georgia where we got blown out. So we've covered every spread since Georgia. I don't think we stop now. I love Clemson in this spot, not just because I went there, not just because it's my favorite team, because we have something to prove this season. DJ left. He went to Florida State. Even though he's not playing, we still want to beat the shit out of the team he went to. And I think Cade really wants to show up too. So I love Clemson in the spot. I think it's a 30-plus point blowout.
I have 2 questions really
Yeah,
quick.
go ahead.
First one is, didn't DJ break his finger on his non-dominant hand?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a pussy
Yeah, I
injury. 'Cause
think
he played the whole game. Brock Glenn threw 4 passes last week.
And
so
he
played
missed
the whole
all
game.
So sharp at DJ.
And then second is actually more directed at you, but why is Phil Moffa not doing anything? Is it just because Cade can do everything?
Is he not
Scrub
doing
not
it?
doing
Is he
it.
not doing
What
it?
He has 342 rushing yards from
In 4 games?
2 touchdowns. I mean, it's not.
I mean,
I guess
But-
it's just not what I thought.
well,
So
so,
how many carries?
well, week 1, yeah, hold
No,
on.
that's a good point.
I'll
That's
look it
a
up
sharp
while we're talking.
call
But
right
there.
in week
Yeah, that's-
1, nothing on Clemson's offense worked.
Okay.
So those are really 300 plus yards in 3 games where he's only playing 2 quarters. Those stats with Cade, by the way, are with him playing 0 fourth quarters. We played 3 quarterbacks in 2 games, and our backup quarterback played the fourth quarter or the last 8.5 minutes of last game.
So you just take out your starters pretty early when you're up by.
I mean,
it,
yeah,
so-
we've been
Yeah.
winning by
Yeah, that
30
makes sense.
points.
No, that
per
makes
game.
sense. That's fair.
So, but I don't think he's not doing anything. I think he looks pretty good. He got hurt in one of the games, came back, ran for a 70-yard touchdown. But yeah, Mike, how do you feel about this game?
Oh, I'm all over Clemson. I think FSU is literally poverty. I see literally 0 good things with Brock Glenn. I don't see any reason to believe in Brock Glenn, and I think Clemson is rolling. I think they have a serious shot at probably taking over the ACC and then making a spot into the playoffs. And they just have
Good
to
chance.
continue to roll.
I just looked at Phil Moffa's yards per carry. Do you want to take a guess? Since he's not doing-
9.3.
I'm gonna
Oh,
guess 7.2.
He's averaging 8 yards per carry.
Yeah, I know.
okay.
I know.
Well,
Moffitt.
I stand
know
corrected.
Moffitt's
I
swing.
just saw the 342. I was like, that's to me in
No
you know,
service level, no context. No, yeah.
surface
It's Mike. What are we doing?
8 yards per carry is pretty nuts.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah, Mario,
surface level.
how do you feel about this one?
I mean, obviously. Well, real quick, I have a question. Do you think?
Yeah.
Because with DJ playing,
Yes.
I still think you guys destroy.
We win by more if DJ plays.
But with Brock Glenn, do you think things get a little?
You have no
interesting? Personally.
reason.
Like, do you think?
No,
Because
I-
FSU can't play any worse.
So
Do you think they played better?
After the last
No,
time you
so-
game?
FSU is one of the more interesting teams in the country, I think, because they went to the portal last year and got all of their players from the transfer portal for the most part.
Yeah.
Including, quarterback, running back. They lost their wide receivers. They replaced them with wide receivers. So the players on their team don't have loyalty to Florida State, which is something Nick Saban pointed out early in the season. When he's talking about teams like this, Ohio State, he actually mentioned, not to shit on Ohio State, but he said something along the lines of like, if you're not paying the $20 million a year for transfers, we'll see like how this team would have looked. That's the same for Florida State because they had everyone leave for the draft or graduate. So now that they're completely out of contention, these guys don't have loyalty to the program. They don't give a if they're graduating, they're graduating. If not, they're all leaving next year. All their commits are leaving. So I don't think they have anything to play for. They don't care about a game against Clemson. They just got blown out against SMU. Yeah. So, I mean, and Brock Glenn, I don't think is an improvement on DJU. But yeah.
Guess what?
What's your pick on this game?
Oh, what's my pick?
Oh God, do I want
What's
to?
my pick?
Should I?
Go Knowles?
I can't talk about this.
It's your
Oh
mortal.
my
I can't
god.
talk about this.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
2 weeks in a row?
Holy, back-to-back
What do you
same
mean?
team is
You don't
going to
know
be
what side
electric.
I'm
Yeah,
on.
you don't
Oh,
know
I
anything.
know.
Over
I
under.
know what's
All
on.
right, whatever. Mario loves to just like have like a slow, silent pause.
No, I
while
love that.
What's my pick? What do you think?
Mario's Batman. This is a weird. This spread makes me want to jump off a cliff because it should be probably 26.5. If I would pick a number, I mean SMU just beat the shit out of Florida State, and I was with DJ. Without DJ, I don't care with anything. And I know all the public is going to be probably like 70% on Clemson, and the money is going to be like $1 billion on Florida State. So like everything in my betting world tells me to bet Florida State, but I can't do that. I'm hammering Clemson with my life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be wrong about everything. Sharp money is gonna be on Florida State. I'm gonna be wrong. The spread's too small.
It has been the last couple weeks on Florida State as well, and it hasn't worked that well.
Oh yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be 100% on the opposite side of everything, but I'm hammering Clemson a million. I haven't picked Clemson wrong this year. I'm gonna continue to do it all year.
I like the sound of that. All right, next game and last game before we get into all the cards.
Good game.
The only actual rank versus rank matchup of the week: Missouri going into Texas A&M. Texas A&M ranked significantly below Missouri, but home favorites by 1.5 points. Total is 48.5. Mario and Mike, you guys are SEC guys. Mario, I'm gonna start with you. How do you look at this matchup? Texas A&M playing really well since they benched Connor Wegman.
Yeah. This is a interesting game. Missouri's looked not like the Missouri of last year.
No.
At all. They're getting into these shootouts with
Vanderbilt.
With Vanderbilt and and
Florida.
and was it Florida the
Oh.
week before?
Oh no, sorry, that was A&M.
You're talking about it was Boston College.
Boston
Yeah,
College.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the one thing I will say is I just have more trust in this Missouri offense. I think they've been together longer. That's the only reason why I'm going to go or lean Missouri here. But I know I'm a fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not a
Because, I mean, this spread seems weird. Something about it just seems.
It's the hardest stadium playing ever.
It's
That's what-
because they're going
that's
into
what they say.
A&M.
That's
That's
what they
why.
say.
That's what they say.
You gotta-
And we saw
yeah.
what Notre Dame did. Obviously that was with a different quarterback. But
Yep.
Yeah.
First game of the season, yeah.
yeah. I love Missouri, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get out of the way. I'm also gonna go Missouri here. I kind of feel
we're all
like
pretty sharp in college.
the reason why that they're underdogged is literally just because of home field advantage. I also feel like they've been playing significantly better when they've taken off Connor Wegman, and I mean, they had, in my opinion, somewhat unconvincing wins, yet wins regardless in SEC conference over Florida and Arkansas. Arkansas, they only beat by 4 points. So very unconvincing there. Like I said, am taking Missouri, but much larger of a play. I'm taking the under here. I think both of these defenses are pretty decent, and not only are the defenses okay because they're, SEC defenses, but their offenses are both miserable. And so I think each side is going to have a really difficult time pushing the ball up. And I could see this being like a, 2017 type game.
I can see that too.
I kind of like the under as well. I don't bet overs and unders in college football because it's like a crapshoot for me. But yeah, I mean, Missouri's unders have not been that bad this season. Their wins it was 51-0, which the over, I actually don't know if the over hit that game.
What was it against?
I don't think it hit.
It was against
think
Murray State. I don't think
No.
it
I think
did.
it was like 52.
Yeah, and then it went under against Buffalo. Boston College, it was 21-27, and then it was a double overtime win by 3 against Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
So I don't actually know if the over hit that week, but I know it was double overtime to get there. And then, like you said, A&M's last 2 games, they beat Bowling Green by 6 and Arkansas by 4.
Unconvincing.
So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of either of these teams. I'm going to go with you guys, though, on Missouri, but I'm not very confident in this pick. The quarterback that came in for A&M, I think his name's Reed. He's thrown 6 touchdowns, 0 picks, 585 yards in 2 games. So pretty good. He's playing well, although the team's barely winning. Missouri is the first real team they are going to play.
Yeah.
And Missouri also, to be fair, I mean, Boston College was ranked when they played them, but Boston College wasn't like a competitive ranked team. A&M's a different beast, so this is the first game they really have to get up for. I do think they find a rhythm. They've kind of had a slow start to the year, but I like Missouri as a roster.
Yeah.
I think they have unbelievable talent on their team, and we saw what happens when this team gets clicking last season. When they play really well in SEC competition, they can score a lot of points. I think they're going to start this week, so I love them as 1.5 point underdogs. I'm taking the money line, not taking a side, but I do lean under if I were to go that way.
Yeah, there's a couple things here. One, this Texas A&M team at home has not looked good at all, in my opinion. I mean, I know they switched out their quarterback, and this new guy has looked competent, especially better than Wegman.
Marcel Reed.
But I don't like him at all. And another thing is, I think Texas A&M's cap is probably at 20 points, 20, 21 points. Like, that's the most they're going to score. Missouri can easily score 35 if they just get going. Brady Cook, Luther Burden, Theo Weiss. And the reason why they're going to win this game, you should bet the over yards, whatever it is Nate Noel, their running back. He's going to ball this week. I'm telling you, he's going to get over 100 yards. They're going to run through this team. I love Missouri in this pick.
Consensus pick.
Yep, consensus Missouri. I'm also
sharp.
not weary about
Brady
it at
Cook,
all.
Brady Cook.
I'm opposite of you guys. I'm not weary. I think this Missouri team has a very good game against Texas A&M, and I love the +1.5.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic game.
Where are you taking a total side?
I'm not taking it, but if I had to lean, I'd go under because it's just a gross Texas A&M.
Yeah, if you're not a
Fair
fan
enough.
of A&M's offense, then
You gotta
the
go
under's
under, yeah.
probably the side here. Especially in things can get hairy in these away.
28-17
It could
Missouri.
be
though.
like a 27-10 or something,
Yeah.
I actually love that final score. That'd be fantastic if Missouri can pull that one off. But there you have it. Yeah, those are really the 2 biggest games of the week. There's
Oh,
a
yeah.
couple more that we can get into in the cards, but I don't want to waste any time. Let's
No.
go ahead and get into what we're betting on this week.
Swim on into it.
All right, hopping into the picks this
Hippity
week.
hop, 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 hippity hop.
Yeah, what Mike said. Starting with the game we already talked about, Missouri +1.5 at Texas
Consensus.
A&M. Consensus pick.
Consensus.
Starting the card off, no Colorado, so we're going Georgia Tech -7.5.
Oh, to the roots.
against-
All right, that
Back to
counts.
the roots.
I like that.
Techies.
Team in the same state, Georgia -24.5 against Auburn, poverty. Bama, Vanderbilt over 55.5. Miami, Cal over 54.5. Michigan +2.5 against Washington.
sharp.
Not a believer in Washington. I'm
Not a
sharp.
believer.
No,
You're
I'm just so sharp. James Madison going back to the well this week, -16.5
I mean,
against
they
UL
score a
Monroe.
million.
James Madison, UL Monroe over
They
48.5.
score a million.
Boise State, shout out Ashton Genty, -26.5 against Utah State, poverty. Ole Miss -9.5 against South Carolina, bounce back for Jackson Dart. And SMU Louisville over 57.5.
That's a you, baby.
There it
Clean
is.
card. Clean
Yeah,
card.
that was
That's
shorter
fun.
than usual.
Let's get hot, you know?
I like it.
Gotta get above 500.
All right. Welcome back to Logic Land. My name is Michael Christopher Yoon, and I am your host.
Welcome
Let's-
back.
MCY.
Let's
It's a Diddy
dive. Let's dive. Baby.
Diddy?
It is not a Diddy party, but starting off with the
Did-
cards, or with the games that we already talked about. Clemson minus 14.5 going against FSU, down with the Seminoles.
Go Tigers.
Missouri consensus pick plus 1.5 against A&M, and Missouri A&M under a 48.5.
Bang.
Moving on into the games that we did not talk about yet. Michigan State plus 24.5 against Oregon. Oregon doesn't like to cover when they're at home. UNLV minus 5.5 against Syracuse, down with the old Ohio State quarterback.
Common Core.
Penn State, Common Core.
Not
Penn
a Honda
State
anymore.
minus 28.5 against UCLA. Sorry, UCLA Bruin fans, you all suck.
Intern Johnson.
UCLA, Penn State over 44.5. Penn State is going to do this by themselves. UCLA won't score.
Probably.
Navy minus 9.5 against Air Force. The Force, but Navy's better. Also,
Yeah.
Navy Air Force over 34.5.
Wow.
Navy again will do this by themselves.
It's never hit.
No, but it's going to hit this time. 17
you
years in a
believe?
row.
I know, 17 years
Hit
in a
last
row.
year.
Yeah,
believe?
17, 18
No,
years in
went
a row.
under.
But they always make it
different
lower,
game.
and it has to hit
maybe.
at some point. So it's going to hit this
That's
time.
fair.
NIU minus 17.5 against UMass. UMass sucks. Iowa, Ohio State over 44.5. Points, even though it's Big Ten matchup, points. Georgia minus 24.5 against Auburn. Bounce back game for Georgia. They're going to just put a stomping on some
Oh,
stompings.
dogs.
South Carolina plus 9.5 against Ole Miss. Down with Ole Miss.
Whoa.
Bama minus 23.5 against Vanderbilt. They're the number one team in the country.
Whoa.
You know,
Whoa.
they are right now.
I'm just
Boise State, shout out Ashton Genty,
Shout
minus
out Genty.
26.5 against Utah State. The Utah State sucks. And Tennessee minus 13.5 against Arkansas. And lastly, but not leastly, the Techies, Georgia Tech, minus 7.5 against Duke.
Wow.
Because down
Sharp.
with Duke.
How you start us out?
Bang.
Bang.
All right. There you
That's
have
a
it.
clean card.
That's
You guys,
Logic Land,
back-to-back
baby.
clean cards.
Let's get hot.
That's
We're so
Logic
sharp.
Land.
We're dialed in.
Big week for Clemson this week. Starting the card off, we already talked about it. Clemson, go Tigers, minus 14.5
Go
at
Tigers.
FSU. Missouri plus 1.5 going into Texas A&M. Next game, I like Louisville minus 6.5 against SMU. Big bounce back spot for Louisville. They look decent against Notre Dame. Notre Dame's just a better team than they are, but I don't think I think SMU might be a little overhyped after their blowout against Florida State. Pittsburgh minus 2.5 at UNC. I really like the way Pitt's running the ball this year. North Carolina hasn't impressed me, especially the way they collapsed against Duke. So I'm riding with the favorites here. Ohio State minus 19.5 against Iowa. Love this play. Ohio State starts their game slow, turnover, keeps it like 7-3 in the first quarter, blows this one open at the end of the game. I really think Ohio State can put up maybe 40, 50 points on
out
Iowa.
Jeremiah
I love Iowa's defense, but not in this matchup. Syracuse plus 5.5 at UNLV.
Back-to-back Ohio State.
Kyle McCord has been playing well
He
this
has,
year,
really.
and UNLV just lost their quarterback. I think people are going to be fooled with how well they played last week. This team doesn't really have an identity anymore. Syracuse is going to come and just dominate them. I'm very confident in this line. NIU minus 17.5 against UMass. UMass is terrible, really bad. UCLA plus 28.5 at
Wow.
Penn State.
That's the right play.
I feel like it's the right play. I feel like everyone's going to be on Penn State. UCLA somehow keeps it close. I saw a pick six last week, got him on the board for a touchdown against Oregon. Maybe they do the same thing to Drew Illar. Who knows? Army minus 10.5 at Tulsa. Think this is a walk. Like the way Army's been moving the ball. Tulsa's not that good. Ole Miss minus 9.5 at South Carolina. Huge bounce back week. South Carolina has fooled some people with some good performances. I'm not sold on South Carolina. Ole Miss, I do think, really needs to put on a show now. If they don't, then they can kind of wish their hopes away within the SEC and the playoff chances. Alabama keep staying hot, minus 23.5 at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt has been impressive this year.
been
Their
sneaky.
kicker's really good. Yeah, they've kept a lot of close games. This will not be one of them. Tennessee minus 13.5 at Arkansas. Baylor plus 12.5 at Iowa State. Love this
wow.
line. Upset watch. Baylor wins this one outright. Washington minus 2.5 against Michigan. They're favorites for a reason. They are going to crush Michigan. This is the first team that Michigan's like, it's not a Texas they're playing. It's an unranked Washington, but Washington still has an offense. I think they'll be able to move on Michigan. They weren't really able to slow down Minnesota at the end of last game. I have some concerns about them, so I'm riding Washington here. USC minus 5.5 at Minnesota. I really liked what I saw from USC last week when they came back and were down 21-10 at halftime, won 38-21. So I like the way Miller Moss is throwing the ball. I think they keep rolling. Duke plus 7.5 at Georgia Tech. I'm sorry. Duke's undefeated. They're actually sneaky better than a lot of people thought they would be. I like Georgia Tech. I think this is going to be a showdown, so I like a back-and-forth close game, maybe a 3-point win for Georgia Tech or the other direction. And last, Miami minus 10.5 at Cal. You're going to hammer this line because Miami needs to make a statement after last week's mishap.
Oh, yeah.
We are against each other on a lot of these, and I am scared
That's
about
sharp.
that.
I'm feeling good this week.
All right. Well, me too.
I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. Start off with my card. TCU Houston over 49.5. TCU team total over 33.5. They score $1 million. Josh Hoover's him. Michigan State plus 24.5 against Oregon. Now this Oregon team's a little shaky. Michigan State might be good. Syracuse UNLV over 59.5. Kyle Honda McCord's going to be amazing. Pitt North Carolina under 64.5. That's too many points for those two teams that are kind of mid. NC State minus 5.5 against Wake Forest at home. Big game for NC State. Penn State UCLA over 44.5. I agree with Michael. Penn State might do it on its own. Army Tulsa over 50.5. This Army team moves the freaking ball. I think they're never going to be stopped.
They do.
The record best bet of all time, Navy Air Force under 34.5. Hits under every time. I don't get how, but it just does. Nebraska minus 7 versus Rutgers. Bounce back week. Missouri plus 1.5 versus Texas A&M. We already said it. Wisconsin minus 13.5 versus Purdue. Million. Ohio State, Iowa over 44.5. Million points from Ohio State. Marshall minus 3.5 against App State. App State is terrible. Don't let me tell you again. Temple UConn over 49.5. I have no idea why that's on my card. Georgia minus 24.5 against Auburn. Big bounce back week. And why? Because they're going to score $1 million. Georgia team total over 38.5. Oklahoma State minus 3.5 against West Virginia. West Virginia is frauds. I don't know why these spreads are so small. Alabama Vanderbilt over 55.5, and Alabama team total over 39.5, $1 billion. James Madison, sneaky James Madison minus 16.5, and the James Madison UL Monroe over 48.5. I gotta love this team. Boise State, team total over 47.5.
I love it.
All by Ashton Genty.
Yep.
He's gonna have 48 points. Clemson minus 14.5 against Florida State, and the under of 46.5 in the game. I'm sharp. The score of the game is 31-3. I'm sharp like that. Tennessee minus 13.5 against Arkansas Murder. Michigan plus 2.5 against Washington. Washington's terrible. UCF Florida over 61.5 points on points. Arizona Texas Tech over 63.5. SMU Louisville over 57.5. And how I end every fucking card. SMU team total over 24.5, baby. Woo!
I love that.
I love that.
That's
Wow.
electric.
Bag
There
man.
you have it. The bag man himself.
I'm the bag man. 0-5, 0-5,
0-5 in Mortals, and we're getting right into the Mortal Parlay.
Oh, yeah, baby.
We hit this shit last week. We already talked about
We're
this.
going for 2 in
paid
a row.
It's a 3-leg parlay because, again, Ryan is 0-5 in Mortals, hence the bag on his head. Until he gets out of that rut, he will continue to stay that way
The bag
with
man.
the bag on the head. But it's a 3-leg parlay. I'm going to kick it off like we did last week. This is my game of the millennium.
Whoa!
This is
Woo!
my... This is...
Woo!
I didn't say the pick yet.
Oh,
Oh, I love it.
I'm just excited for Game of
Love the
Millennium, baby. Game of the fucking Millennium, baby.
All right.
Woo!
Can I lock in?
Oh, yeah,
Can you
sorry.
let me lock in?
Yeah, lock.
Let him
All right.
lock it.
Lock.
Ryan mentioned this Armed Forces game, and this is a game that I had circled on the calendar for a long time. Preseason, I would have told you Air Force is the play.
The Force.
Navy is the best team in football,
Maybe ever.
and I think they score a lot of points. But the pick, the game of the millennium, the easiest bet of all time, Navy minus 9.5 against Air Force. This is an absolute
Back to
murder.
back.
I
Blake
love that.
Horvath is fucking balling right now, leading the country in a QBR with a 95.8, averaging over 20 yards per attempt. The most absurd stat I've ever seen for a quarterback, especially for a running team when he's throwing over 200 yards a game. Leading his team in passing and rushing. Navy's offense is scoring 30-plus points per game. Air Force is 1-3, can't score points and can't cover spread. So everything has aligned me. This was my team of last year, Air Force, against my team of this year, Navy.
Love it.
And Navy is going to keep winning me mortals. Navy minus 9.5.
Boom! Game
you
of
go.
the Millennium!
Game of the millennium.
Boom!
Game of the millennium.
Bang!
$1 million bet.
Woo!
$1 million.
$1 million.
This one
A
bet,
trillion.
I
more,
love it.
more units than my entire card this week. Just
Buy a whole
$1 million.
residential block and then mortgage them all.
$1 million.
Mortgage
And
them.
all of them.
You can't
$1
lose.
million.
Yeah,
It's
can never
can't
lose.
misplay.
Yeah,
Can't
can't
miss.
misplay.
$1
Can't miss.
million.
Won't miss.
Tyler guarantee. I don't do that often.
You'll
$1
see
billion.
it.
Tyler guarantee.
can't
Full
miss it.
guarantee.
Might
Can't
even
miss.
be $1 trillion.
It's like State Farm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jake from State Farm. Shout out Jake.
Okay.
Which one?
Shout out, Jake.
Now, getting into the best pick that we give out on the entire pod, and
4-1,
I am very
4-1,
proud
4-1.
to announce it is my mortal.
4-1.
Moving into a game with a man that we have been talking about for quite some time, and his name is Cam Ward, and he is going into the shittiest team in California, and that is
That's
Cal.
why you didn't like Cal.
I f***ing hate Cal
I
this
get it
week.
We all
now.
hate Cal this week.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely hate Cal this week. This is a giant bounce back spot for Miami.
Love it.
And let me give you some reasons as to why I
Is
chose.
the pick the spread?
Yes, Miami
man.
minus 10.5 against Cal is my mortal.
Nice.
The reason why is because Miami is currently the 4th in offensive production at averaging 49.4 points per game.
That's pretty good.
Along with that, they're also 19th in defense with allowing only 15 points from other teams.
I'll get the job done.
They're going against Cal, who is 99th
Oh, sharp.
in offensive production, averaging a measly 23 points per game.
Terrible.
They're about to get f***ing dog walked here.
Love it.
And not only that, but Cal also plays a very undisciplined game of football. They have 38 penalties on the year with 293 yards given
That's
to the
insane.
opposite side. That is not going to win you many ball games, and they are definitely not going to win here. Miami is about to come in and crush the f***ing soul of Cal.
Let's go.
I love it.
I love Miami.
No,
I love
we love
that
it.
pick. Mario, let's hear it. What's the last pick in the parlay?
Last pick of
Come
this
on.
parlay.
Bring it home, baby.
Listen.
Round her out. Yeehaw!
I saw this line and I was like, I'm not a fish.
No way.
No. They
Oh,
put
God.
this line out there because they want you to think you're a fish. But really, you're just sharp. You have a dead read on the situation. The pick this week is Clemson minus 14 and a half.
Let's go.
Back to
Let's
back.
go.
Yeah, Brock Glenn. Who are you?
No one.
No
DJ,
one.
you. No one knows you. Oh,
Yeah.
hurt your finger. Yeah, sit out this game. You're gonna lose by 50.
Little bitch.
Yeah, little
Yeah.
bitch.
Who's Brock Glenn? You know Kate Klubnik?
Yeah.
No,
You
football.
ain't heard
Yeah.
that pick.
You know football. You don't know Kate Klubnik.
See that
You don't know
defense?
football.
We just ran that
Clemson.
back. Navy
Bang.
and Clemson both hit for us last week. Going back to
Winning
the
by
well. I love
40.
that.
Bang.
There you have it. Navy minus 9.5, Miami minus 10.5, Clemson minus 14.5. Those 3 picks hit. We are paying
Woo!
one person $450. Absolutely electric.
This one feels too easy.
Ryan, I need to hear your mortal, and then
your
Mario,
favorite.
I need to hear the intern's crappy pick of the week before we outro this shit.
The CPOTY.
Just want to say you're welcome for all these picks. Because I've been so bad, you have made money off their picks, and if you're betting against me. So it's a
5.
double nut. You're welcome. My pick this week is Boise State minus 26.5 against
Ooh.
Utah State at home. I don't need to say anything because I don't
yeah,
deserve to
I
say
like
anything.
that.
but
Oh,
Shout out.
That's all you need to know.
Mario, what is the intern Johnson crappy pick of the week?
Intern Johnson, crappy pick of the week.
is?
Wow, it's a beautiful one. It's
Holy shit.
Western Michigan
Oh, God.
at Ball State
Oh, God.
Oh.
over 56.5.
Oh,
There
my
you have
God.
it.
Points, and
Points,
then more.
points.
What's the crappy pick of the week record?
It's got to be
Not
like
good.
What is it right now?
2 and
I
3.
believe it's.
2 and 3.
and three.
Sharp.
All right, so this is.
Let's get back to 5.
gotta get back.
Let's
You're
get
doing
back.
it.
Let's get back
Mario,
on track.
Tell the people before they go ahead and exit this video what they need to do in order to be eligible to win the money that we just gave out.
Yeah,
Listen,
Mario. Tell him.
Michael.
You tell him.
I'll
You
tell him.
You tell
I'll tell him.
You tell
First,
him. You
first you
tell
go
him. Talk to him.
home. You get a sports book, anything you can bet on,
Yep.
and you
Whoa.
bet Clemson minus 14.5.
Oh,
It's called
1-800
Trent.
1-800
shit.
gambler right here.
Oh, shit.
1-800
Kate
gambler.
Klubnik. They don't know.
And then at Miami
Oregon
minus
State,
10.5.
and then when you do that, leave a little comment. Say, I just bet Clemson minus 14.5. Thank you, Mario. You're the best.
Yeah.
Shout out Clemson. Go Tigers. Whatever.
Go Tigers.
Leave a like. Share with a friend. Subscribe to the channel. The more comments you leave on this video or any of our videos, the higher likelihood you'll be selected. That's
Yep.
how we selected Ken last week.
Yep.
You want to be Ken this week. Trust
Yep.
me. You want to be
Facts.
Ken this week.
Bang.
And that's it.
And the
Should I-
notification bell.
Oh, ding, 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 ding. I
There
can't
it
get
is.
it.
There it is. Enjoy some college football, and we'll see you next week.
Comment.
Yeah,
comment.
baby.
Comment.
Hook 'em horns,
Film off.
baby.